Hello and welcome to the virtual college exploration for all Ohio students. This is sponsored by the Ohio Association for College Admission Counseling and StriveScan. Thank you for joining us. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of the many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the full schedule at oacac.org. This presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at the same website, oacac.org. I'd like to now turn it over to our presenters, Cincinnati State.
Thank you, and welcome everyone. We're so excited that you're here to join us today. Cincinnati State offers the best value for your education as Cincinnati's only community college in the area. And whether you plan to immediately enter the job market after graduation, or you're planning to transfer to another institution to continue your education, the value we offer really can't be beat. So we're excited to tell you a little bit more about that. Today's presentation is we're going to cover sort of our programs and degrees. We have over 130. We also are going to touch on a little bit about our award-winning co-op program and clinical opportunities. We're also going to touch on student services, our affordable tuition, and experienced faculty. Let's get started with Yvonne Baker. She's our dean for the Business Technologies Division.
Good afternoon, everyone. So the Business Technologies Division houses a conglomerate of programs. One thing that they all have in common is they teach you the basic skills in business to either help you own your own business or to advance within whatever industry that you choose to go into. So we'll start with the traditional business programs. So you may have heard of many of these traditional programs. So I'm not going to go through each one of them, but in general, if you're interested in business, if you're interested in helping businesses determine their profits, become more efficient, manage people, manage projects, or even invest their money after they've earned it, that's just a little bit of what business does. And don't think you have to know anything about business to start a career in business. That's what we're here for, is to help you get started in those basic skills. Next, we'll talk about our transfer programs within the business division. We have two of those. Pre-business administration is our largest, and that is the first 2 years of a bachelor's degree in business. So if you're wanting to major in one of those business areas we just looked at, those traditional business areas, and you know you want to come and just do the first 2 years here and go on to a university and get your junior and senior year completed, this is a great place to start to save a little bit of money and get your feet wet. You take a little bit of general business, like so you'll take an accounting course, a management course. You kind of figure out if you're not sure what area of business you want yet, that's a good way to start to kind of explore a little bit. And then we also have pre-nutrition science. If you're interested in nutrition or dietetics, that program is a similar format where you start at Cincinnati State and then you transfer on and complete your junior and senior year at a university. And you'll see some of our university partners on this slide. It is not all inclusive. We can pretty much help you transfer wherever you want to go. So that's a little bit about our transfer programs. And then we also house the Midwest Culinary Institute, which is all things food and beverage. And so if you're interested, if you're passionate about food, whether it's making food or studying the healthy aspects of food with dietetics, or the creative side, or even the scientific side, we have our new culinary and food science applied bachelor's degree. And that's one of our 2 bachelor's degrees that Cincinnati State was recently approved to offer. And that program blends the culinary side, we're making food for immediate consumption, with preparing food to be consumed later. So the storage, the package, the science behind making that food shelf life a little bit longer. So that's a little bit about the hospitality industry programs. And then we have a couple others. We have the automotive program and landscape horticulture. And so a little bit different type of skill, but also, like I said earlier, they're getting you the basic skills in business. So if you want to own your own auto shop or landscaping business, you're going to get those skills to either own your own shop or to move up in management within that industry. And then in addition, most of our programs have a certificate as well, which is a shortened version to get you started. And so you'll see some of those certificates on the slide. So if you're interested and you know exactly what you want and you want to get started right away in working, you can start with one of these certificates. They're designed to get you out in the workplace faster. But then you can always use those as a pathway to add on an associate degree or even go on for a bachelor's degree. And next, I'll turn it over to Doug Dean Bowling, the Engineering and Information Technologies Division.
Thank you, Dean Baker. Hello, everybody. My name is Doug Bowling. As she said, I am the Dean for the Engineering and Information Technologies Division. And here we're all about getting you those technical skills that you need to prosper, get not only in the workforce, but if you're looking to go for another degree. In my division, we offer engineering degrees, information technology, multimedia, aviation maintenance, and all our programs involve cooperative education. So before I talk a little bit about those other programs, let me just highlight a little bit of what cooperative education is. Cooperative education is a form of experiential learning, and what that means is that you will, for all my programs and for some throughout the college, you actually go to work for a company in the field and gain real world experience. So not only do you, and we help you with that, and not only do you walk out of here with great academic skills, but you also have a good experience, on the job experience and training to complement those studies. So it's a very nice way to get your experience in. It's great for your resume, and in most cases we actually get paid. So this is one of the few opportunities you'll take a class where you might even get paid to do it at the same time. Let me talk a little bit about our programs. I'm just going to highlight each of them just real quick. Any engineering, we do anything from chemical, civil, environmental, electromechanical, whatever your interest is, robots, lasers, automotive, aerospace, whatever that would be, we have here at Cincinnati State. We also offer, as Dean Baker said, one of the two bachelor's degrees. If you're interested in surveying, Cincinnati State is the closest place to go other than Akron in the state of Ohio to get a surveying degree, and we offer that here. Or if you are interested in going on getting a university engineering degree, so a 4 or 5 year degree, we also offer our pre-engineering program here, which is basically the first 2 years of any engineering degree. So you can come here, take the same classes. Our calculus, our physics, our math is all the same as you're going to get at the university. It's going to be a lot cheaper and you're going to get a lot more attention. So a lot of students take advantage of that, do their first 2 years, then transfer to the university. So we also offer aviation maintenance. So let me, and that's our contact information.
Sorry, I went way over.
It's all right.
Yeah.
All right. So we also offer aviation maintenance. If you're interested in repairing an aircraft, you can be certified. This is what you see on the screen. There's a typical jet engine. It takes a certain skill set for somebody to do that. It's a very high in demand job. Again, we're one of the few schools in the country that offer this. So we train you how to not only work on the engines, the bodies, and the electronics of those planes. That and also drone technology as well is also covered in that program. Another aspect is our IT side. If you're interested in anything related to IT, computer programming, we offer a variety of different majors. If you're interested in gaming, if you're interested in robotics or business, we have all the different types of programming languages covered here, from Java to C++ to C#. For all those different types of programs offered here. Maybe you're interested in computer repair. We have a computer support program where we work on the repair, setup, design of those programs. Maybe networking, if setting up a network, running a network, to cybersecurity. All that is done through our information technology division here at Cincinnati State. So whatever your IT needs, we have plenty of it. Another aspect we have is multimedia. Our multimedia program, we have 3 programs that are available for you. Audio video production, maybe you're interested in filming or recording. We have a full-blown television studio and recording studio here at Cincinnati State. We're not in the front of the camera, we're behind the camera, so we'll teach you all the different aspects of design and editing audio and video productions. Maybe you're interested in websites. We have web and multimedia design, which is just that, where we teach folks to design, build effective and efficient and great looking websites. Or maybe you're interested in graphic design. I call these our artists here. This is doing a lot of the drawing and things like that on the computer. So we have a graphic design program where they cover everything from 2D, 3D drawings to animation. We use a program here that's similar to what they use to make Shrek out of, the cartoon Shrek. So we teach all the different aspects of graphic design that you'd be interested in. And again, all these involve co-op and are very, very important. So let me turn it over to our health division and our dean, Dr. Janelle McCord, and she'll take it from there.
Well, thanks, Doug. I'm doing a Debbie Powlite imitation, but I didn't have time to switch back. So, but thanks for everybody for being here today. Yeah, I'm going to talk to you about our Health and Public Safety Division, where we prepare people to work in hospitals, clinics, physicians' offices, fire departments, et cetera. First of all, if you're interested in a health career, you need to think about, do I want to be directly with the patient or do I want to work behind the scenes? We have several opportunities for you if you think that you would like to work with the patients, including respiratory therapists. These are the people that are helping with the ventilators in this COVID crisis, but they also treat people for asthma and all sorts of other, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, emphysema, et cetera. Medical assistant, these are the people that work with the physicians in their offices. They put the patient in the room, they take vitals, they take history, et cetera. Surgical techs, you don't have to be an RN to work in the surgical suite with the surgeon. The surgical techs are the ones that prepare and hand the instruments and help count sponges and all those things in the surgery room. Sonographers, that's very popular. We don't just scan for babies. We also help people by scanning their organs, their heart, etc. That, like I said, is popular. Occupational therapy assistant. These are the people who work with people who have some kind of disabling event or disease to help them do the activities of everyday life. So we have an OT house across the street from our Clifton campus where we have adaptive furniture, where we can raise and lower the stove height, for example, for people in wheelchairs. So you would be helping people learn to brush their teeth again, tie their shoes, cook meals, etc. We have an extensive line of nursing programs, everything from the state tested nursing assistant, where you can work in long-term care facilities, up through practical nurse. In just a year, you could be making $80,000. And then we have the nursing program. Our RN program has the highest scores typically in the city. So you don't have to go to a 4-year program to be an RN. Our students take the same exam, the NCLEX, as the 4-year graduates, and our students pass at a higher rate. We also have exercise science. You can be a personal trainer. You can learn about the physiology of exercise in that program, and go on to we have a lot of articulations with all of these programs where you can take your 2-year degree and in 2 more years have a bachelor's degree. If you want to work behind the scenes, we have a couple of examples of that. Health information management is mostly at a computer. You might be doing tumor registry. You might be, you're doing things with the electronic health record. So there's a lot of rules and things that you have to know. That program is all online if you're interested in something like that. Medical laboratory technician, these are the sort of the medical scientists, the people, these are the people, some of our graduates are working on the COVID vaccine research. You know, they're out there testing blood and body fluids and growing the bacteria that maybe is causing somebody's infection and identifying it. So it's very much involved with science. We have the whole range also of EMS and fire possibilities. You can, in a short time, be working part-time at a fire department. Once you take our firefighter 1, firefighter 2, you're able to get a part-time job. And then if you go on and you get your EMS, then, you know, if you're a paramedic, then you can get a full-time high-paying job in a fire department. Most people go on and do both of those together, and you can be a first responder. We certainly need people in those areas. You know, this is my bragging rights page, I guess. We have higher pass rates on certification and licensure than most other colleges and universities in the area. Some of the programs have 100% routinely. We nearly always can place you in your field. That's, you know, when you hear from proprietary schools and they're saying, you know, you get a job, well, that may or may not be in your field, but we're saying, yes, it will be. A lot of the people who hire in the community will tell you that they prefer Cincinnati State health and public safety grads to the graduates of the 4-year programs. We are the leading supplier of healthcare personnel for Greater Cincinnati. And I'll turn it over now to my colleague, Dean of Humanities and Sciences, Jeff Wolf.
Thank you, Dr. McCord. For anyone who wanted email addresses, there were some email addresses incorrectly spelled or named in the answers. I've corrected mine and Dean Bowling's. Dr. McCord, you might want to go in there. I believe yours might be incorrect as well. So I'm Jeff Wolf. I'm Dean of the Humanities and Sciences Division. Humanities and Sciences is the one division that everyone attending Cincinnati State will have contact with. We are the division where you will do your math and your sciences, your humanities and social science classes, anything that is part of your general education. One of the things that we specialize in is no higher transfer module certificate, which means that when you finish a degree with the OTM certificate, you will be able to transfer that full general education packet to any university in the state of Ohio. Built into our 2 biggest programs also is the OTM certificate. Our 2 largest programs are the Associate of Arts and the Associate of Science programs. So if you are looking for a much more cost-effective way to get to a university with your first 2 years completed, whether you're a psychology major, pre-law, sociology, chemistry, biology, pre-med, any of those things, we can help you transfer with no loss of credit to any of these institutions and many, many more. Our advisors will work with you to come up with an individualized plan based on your major, based on the needs of your transfer institution. And one of the things I like to remind people about Cincinnati State is Unlike university, where your first 2 years of classes might be taught by graduate assistants and teaching assistants of various types, other students basically who are learning their skills as they go, all of our classes are taught by credentialed faculty. You will always have an instructor or professor teaching you at Cincinnati State. We are also the home for helping and leading professions. So our fastest growing program at the college is our Human and Social Services program. That would be for students who want to get right to work in a field of counseling or social work. You can leave ready to be credentialed as a social work assistant. We also have a certificate that can be added to any degree to demonstrate your specialty in dealing and helping people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. We also have an addiction studies certificate, which can be bundled with our human and social services degree. That will allow you to be credentialed with your first credential in chemical dependency counseling, the CDCA-1. So if you are on your way to higher levels of certification in counseling, you can start there. And we also have our leadership certificate, which is an organizational leadership specialization that can be added to any degree. Early childhood education is our next biggest program. You can graduate with an Associate of Applied Science degree and increase your value to any number of early childhood learning settings, such as daycares, childcare centers, preschools, and the like. Or you can use our early childhood education degree to transfer as a junior to a number of different local universities. So you can start with an ECE degree here at Cincinnati State and go to University of Cincinnati, Mount St. Joseph, in both cases, finishing that degree and moving on to those institutions opens up a number of different scholarship opportunities. And that's another important part about transfer at Cincinnati State is we have a number of different agreements with regional universities that will incentivize you to complete an associate's degree at Cincinnati State by guaranteeing or at least highly increasing the likelihood that you will receive scholarship at those institutions. We also have an American Sign Language interpreting program. So if you would like to help our deaf community by working as a simultaneous interpreter in sign language, whether that be in legal or healthcare settings, if you'd like to interpret one day for the governor, you might be able to do that. We are also certified in the with the Ohio Department of Education as educational interpreters. You will get an immersion program in American Sign Language and be ready to work in that field. Additionally, you can add a Deaf Studies certificate to any other degree that you might be taking at Cincinnati State if you want to demonstrate your value to a workplace through being able to serve a special population. That's pretty much the rundown of humanities and sciences, and I will turn things back over to Debbie Powlite, who will talk to you about financial aid. Oh, sorry, my bad. We have an academic support slide. I forgot that I had that. Academic support is all around Cincinnati State. You'll get it a variety of different ways, but much of it comes through the Humanities and Sciences division. Academic advising, success centers, our tutoring centers such as math, writing centers. We have science and chemistry tutoring. We have computer applications tutoring. We have study skills and reading tutoring that are all available on demand, both in person and virtually. We have an honors program that allows you to transfer to university honors programs. We also host a career center and a transfer center that will help you on your way to finding exactly the right career or the right transfer institution for you. And many of those things are associated with my division. Now, I believe the next slide is financial aid, and I will throw you back to Debbie Powlite.
All right, we just went through a lot of information. We're sort of finishing up here, talked about financial aid and admissions, and then we're going to open it up to make sure that we can cover some of the questions that may have come through. So as we've been talking, and I mentioned this earlier, I mean, Cincinnati State is one of the best values, as our in-state tuition is $169 rounded up per credit hour. That's about half the cost of what it would be in a four-year public institution. So all of the deans have been talking about, you know, starting sort of smart, starting at Cincinnati State, and then transferring to a four-year institution if your goal is that bachelor's degree. We encourage our students to apply for scholarships, and we have institutional scholarships. Some are major specific, some are general. But our scholarship deadline is February 15th. So for those of you that are seniors, our application is available online now, and the deadline is February 15th. So not only would you want to apply for scholarships, but also complete the admissions process that we'll be talking about and have everything in by that February 15th deadline. There's also a lot of community scholarships, and a lot of these go unused. And just examples, I mean, check with your school, your churches, check with your parents' employers. Sometimes they offer scholarships. It might be a local agency or something like that through your PTA, something like that as well. I know my son got a scholarship through like a PTA program. So there's a lot of different opportunities out there, and just make sure that you ask. And work with your like English department to improve maybe your letter that you need to write or essay you need to write, so they can help you with that as well. There's also a lot of scholarship searches out there that are on the web. We recommend you don't pay for those searches if you're prepared to do a little bit of homework on your own, maybe get your parents' assistance as well. Or maybe through your school, your guidance office might be able to help you also. And there's a couple listed there, the studentaid.gov/scholarships, there's a FastWeb, and also the Cincinnati Scholarship Foundation. So you can search for any of these on your own, but like I said, check with your guidance office at your high school, and they should be able to help you through that process also. Or check with our financial aid office. They are available to assist you. We have staff that are working, we're on campus, as well as working remotely. So, and you can see from some of our backgrounds, we might be, today I'm working from home, but I'm in the office a couple of days a week. But our financial aid staff is there in the office Monday through Friday. So if you have any questions, you can follow up with them. We do encourage students to file the FAFSA. It's not required for scholarships. However, some of our scholarships are need-based. So if they are, the FAFSA would also be required. You can apply now. If you're a senior and you're thinking of applying for financial aid, you can do that as of October 1st. So go ahead, our school code is listed there, and you can go to the studentaid.gov website. And again, if you or your parents or whoever's helping you through this process has any questions, reach out to our financial aid office, and they will be more than happy to sit down and walk through everything with you. So we gave you a lot of information. If you haven't applied and are interested in Cincinnati State, we'd like you to go to apply.cincinnatistate.edu. That will access our standard application for admission. It's very easy to complete. There's no required fee at the time of submitting out the application. There's a $15 processing fee that you're charged the first semester that you're enrolled in classes. So nothing that's required early on. We also require you to submit your high school transcripts to us. We would want your partial high school transcripts as it is, you know, at this point in your senior year. And then also, if you have completed any college coursework through the College Credit Plus program or some other dual enrollment program, we would want those transcripts also, so advisors know what you've already taken or would be possibly coming in with when you start classes in the fall. Again, encourage you to apply for financial aid if interested. Our fall semester begins August 30th, and we don't have our first fall schedule out yet. We are not sure where COVID is going to lead us, But right now we are, just to give you an idea, we are doing classes in all formats. So we have online, just web-based, where you know what your assignments are and you're completing those on based on deadlines. We also have online classes with mandatory required times that you meet with your instructor and your classmates. And we also have classes on campus. So a lot of our, because we're a technical college, we do have a number of programs that require labs and just a skill that really, like our culinary program, where we want our students on campus, our automotive, our labs for sciences, things like that. So we do have students on campus and plan on having more on campus courses in the fall semester. There is our contact information for admissions and financial aid. If you have any questions, I think at this point as a high school senior, those would be the two offices you basically want to be starting with. Once you're admitted to the college, we will connect you with an advisor so that you can register for classes. And we have an online new student orientation that we'd also have you do prior to starting at the college. We're very grateful that you're participating today and getting some more information from us. And I'd like to just sort of see, Christine has sort of been monitoring the chat. Ask Christine if there's any questions or anything that we'd like to make sure that we cover.
I'm not seeing any questions at this moment, but everyone is welcome to throw any questions into the chat so that we can make sure to answer anything that you feel like we haven't covered yet.
Are you also looking in the Q&A, Christine?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. And I'll give another minute or so, see if anybody has any questions. Was there any, since I don't see any of those, was there anything that any of the presenters wanted to touch back on or felt that wasn't covered in the presentation? Just to make sure we included anything. All right, well, we hope, we look forward to you reaching out to us if you have any more questions. For those of you that are registered today, we will be sending you a follow-up information sort of with next steps. But thank you for joining us this afternoon on at least a sunny day in my neighborhood. So have a great weekend ahead. Thank you.
Thanks, and thanks again, everyone, for joining us. When you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We appreciate any feedback that you can provide. Also, again, this was just one of the sessions that's being hosted. So be sure to sign up for additional sessions at oacac.org. In about a week, you'll be able to find this session's recording as well as other sessions, again, at oacac.org. Thank you. Good job, facilitators.
Thank you. Bye.